Hey, salut friends. Today I thought of sharing some fragrances that I consider to be inventive and innovative, possibly even avant-garde. By that I'm not aiming for quirky, gimmicky creations which are plentiful these days with hundreds of indie and artisanal brands. There are scents that smell like popcorn and rocket fuel and blood and several other things. I'll probably do a list of quirky fragrances from smaller brands as a separate video. These are still traditional fragrances from known big brands for the most part, but manage to bring in some unconventional aspects that sets them apart, and simply those that I own and enjoy have not been copied or recreated to the point that the reference is forgotten, as is the case with many classic creations. So let's get started in no particular order. First is Like This from Yeta Libra d'Orange, created by Mathilde Bijoy. This was made in collaboration with Tilda Swinton, the actress. The name was Tilda Swinton Like This initially. This one got quite some chatter in the initial days when more personalities were seeking out niche brands like ELDO and Serge Lutens and not only talk about the stuff that they are sent for free. In any case, the scent itself could be considered a vegetal floral gourmand built mainly around pumpkin, though here it seems to be more toward the sweet, pulpy, scooped orange flesh of the pumpkin itself. Other than that, it has some ginger and immortelle, so it comes across sweet with some honey touches, herbal, spicy and creamy, some soft, musky, floral enveloping quality from the heliotrope. It's a very homely, festive, holiday garden, dinner preparation kind of vibe. Some consider this to be the quintessential Halloween fragrance when you're indoors. Under the cleverly worked synthetics and quirky notes, there is still this traditional French floral bouquet, Art Nouveau styling at its heart. There are many strange fragrances from this brand, but I think this one balances the quirky side and the wearable scent side beautifully. Next up is Odeur of the Châtelet Theatre Act 1 from Comme des Garçons, another brand really known for its avant-garde styling with many creative fragrances. I chose this as I really have not seen anyone talk about it. This is, as the name literally spells out, inspired by the smell inside the Châtelet Theatre in Paris. In terms of scent, if I have to simplify it, I would say it is a metallic, rosy musk scent built around rose oxide, iris and ambrette. Additionally, there is this dark roasted coffee and peppery cedar. This kind of scent itself could be a subcategory within musk fragrances. Other references I would say are Chanel No. 18, Glossier U and even Mohour from Nila Vermeer. This, however, goes for the more modern industrial molecular styling that Comme des Garçons is known for. Still manages to evoke this image of red velvet, seats, carpets, screens, metal chairs and so forth, even lipstick and coffee. Yet it's totally wearable. You would have seen this in the left corner of many of my videos, and I do use it when I just want something simple and still interesting. Third is Paprika Brazil from the Hermès collection of Hermès, created by Jean-Claude Ellena. I reviewed this one recently. I almost put Paddock here, but then thought this is probably more accessible, though it has been discontinued some time ago. This is a bridge between the coolness of iris with some watery green floral facets and the heat from the combination of spicy simmering paprika and clove with a base of rosewood, resulting in this stunning, naturalistic, dreamy, woody scent. Really a demonstration of how much freedom a perfumer had with a legacy brand at the time. At number 4 is Fleur Cachée from Anatole Lebreton, a small indie brand out of the Provence region. Vanilla has been done in several styles: sweet, spicy, floral, woody and musky. It's all over the place, but I have not seen that many taken in the culinary direction. Gourmand, yes, but not in the savory, spicy, vegetable direction. Here it is done by fenugreek and timut pepper, complemented by the warm facets of Peru balsam and sandalwood. Probably even some immortelle in reference to the name, hidden flower. There is also turmeric, one of the most underexplored spices in perfume. I think this was inspired by someone in the middle of this imaginary goods shipment being transported across Europe, including loads of vanilla, spices and florals in the same compartment. It certainly makes for an intriguing, spicy, woody vanilla scent. Quite an underrated house. I also like brioche from them. Speaking of brioche, vanilla and sandalwood, at 5, let's go to Jeux de Peau from Serge Lutens, composed by Christopher Sheldrake. This is supposed to be a trip down memory lane when Serge used to get bread from the boulangerie as a young kid. As such, this has a lot of notes evoking the smell of bread and bakeries without going too sweet. There is this dry, toasty, bran-like wheat accord, lactonic facets from the coconut, some spicy, soft, creamy sandalwood. I have always considered this to be the sunny, daytime take on the theme of Santal Majuscule, which is more of an amber and rose affair with dark chocolate. On the contrary, this has a solar disposition, going for the bright, blonde, bready side of sandalwood. It has inspired more scents than one may think. Before this, they were peachy, plummy, fruity, lactonic, spicy, floral sandalwoods, but this definitely opened the doors for this bready scent profile, just one of the many fall stunners from Serge Lutens. At number 6 is Ambre Lèvres from Name magazine, yet again by Mathilde Bejoy. This is another quirky, rosy, powdery vanilla fragrance made in collaboration with a painter named Marjane Satrapi. Apparently, she wanted to recreate her childhood memory of her aunt's lipstick, which has also inspired the women in her paintings. As such, this does go in the vintage, powdery, pastel-y lipstick direction, in a different style than Frederic Malle's Lipstick Rose, which is kind of the reference when it comes to this style of scent. And of course, with that theme, you have iris, rose, violet, heliotrope with the vanilla and tonka, forming this powdery, sweet, somewhat cherry blossom-like scent. Benzoin, musk and suede giving that soft, waxy texture backing the powdery florals. Yet, just like the perfumer did with her ELDO creations, this is not going to the extreme Moulin Rouge, Putain des Palaces territory, still manages to be a wearable, perfumey creation. At number 7, let's do Fusion Sacrée Obscur from Majda Bekkali, created by Bertrand Duchefort. This is indeed like a fusion of obscure elements, notably amber and incense, with some spicy, sweet gourmand elements. This was still novel at that time. Nowadays, incense and caramel seems to be a mini trend amongst these nouveau niche brands. Here you have the usual suspects of a complex Duchefort fragrance: amber, incense and sandalwood. Then there is this sweet gourmand facet coming from the caramel, coffee with some rum, which brings this buttered liquor-like sensation, which is anything but sacred. On top of that is an aromatic herbal side with lavender, licorice, clove, geranium, cardamom and a very prominent vegetal celery note. It is quite a bizarre scent that I am quite conflicted by, not by the construction itself, cause it's quite well made, but the overall smell. Some days it works, other days it doesn't. Still, credit for the creativity. At number 8, this is ACTE from Astier de Villat, composed by Dominique Ropillon. This is an interpretation of the aromatic herbal potions that the Romans used to scent themselves. Apparently, they were so obsessed with perfumes that they applied it not only on themselves, but their living spaces, ornaments, fabrics, even their guests and animals. Here it is a mix of a lot of dense, rich herbs like marjoram, thyme, rosemary. There are also spices like cardamom, cinnamon, anise, with lots of honeyed, dried fruit-like nuances. Myrrh, labdanum give it the sense of the past, like you are smelling something from a different time period. It is a linear scent, not the traditional scent pyramid. It smells like a medicinal, camphoriferous, resinous potion and pretty much stays like that, but still a fascinating scent. Easily the most interesting creations of Ropillon outside of Frederic Malle. He even used a lot of observations from his research here, apparently, along with 2 other scents, as part of the 3 historical perfume set launched by the house. All 3 are pretty good. At number 9, let's do Music for a While from Frederic Malle, created by Carlos Binaim. When I first smelled this, I thought something has gone horribly wrong. Either the bottle was off, maybe I smelled the wrong thing, or someone changed the perfume inside, or worse, someone messed up during the production of this batch at Frederic Malle or something. because it was so strange, the herbal lavender, scratchy patchouli, and the sticky sweet syrupy pineapple combination. It must have been an accident, I reckoned. But then as it got colder and I continued testing on skin, the more the sweetness subsided and I started to like it. Now I think it's fantastic. The thing is, and even Malle talked about this, if they had just stuck to the conventional theme, it would have been a good amber fougere, but still something that was quite familiar as a Provençal lavender. And by completely drenching the scent in this vanillic, sunny, golden pineapple, it brings out the more addictive, boozy, sensual facets without being a stereotypical lavender. At number 10 is Lone Star Memories from Tower Perfumes. Leather, one of the historically important perfume accords that is not natural with respect to the actual thing. It has been done in several styles. Here the reference seems to be Spanish leather or Peau d'Espagne, which is the perfume side of it. But what makes this special is the storytelling. I have a lot of enthusiasm for westerns, especially the combo of Sergio Leone and Ennio Morricone, and I never expected to find something that would bridge these two worlds in a spectacular fashion, creating this cowboy ballad in a bottle. It just captures this imagination of a cowboy with his horse and his leather jacket, jeans and boots, finishing up his day, unwinding and creating a campfire. As such, you have this animalic, dark, charred, almost black leather, which has this humanistic side as well, supported by the endolic jasmine. His signature sandblasted amber accord is here, with some aromatic, clean, soapy contrast from the geranium clarisage, settling down on some vetiver and sandalwood. It has easily become one of the strongest narratives that I have experienced in the form of a scent, one that I would not hesitate to call by the M word. A few honorable mentions: Dior's Eau Noire cologne by Francis Coupejean, made when both parties were still creative. This licorice, coffee, lavender, immortal theme was quite a risk from a big designer. Other than that, any of Roberto Greco's fragrances could have made this list. Since this last year, I was also impressed by some creations from Rubini, especially Nuovo Lari, which try to recreate the atmosphere of a race course. Overall, as much as I appreciate traditional fragrances, it's always fun to smell some unusual creations. It's probably something that I would like to explore more in the future, especially from smaller brands, whenever I feel like I need a break from the usual suspects. Either way, those have been some of my unconventional fragrances. Thanks for watching, take care and ciao.